So, should we be ourselves in business? Is it okay to be yourself or not? I've been pondering this question quite a bit, and my answer is absolutely no. And it's absolutely yes. So here I am again, speaking out of both sides of my mouth, and I'm going to explain why. The reason I say absolutely no is that most of us have no idea who we are. So, how can we show up in business and be ourselves if we don't even know what that constitutes? What we learn in mindfulness intelligence are the two missing pieces of the puzzle for showing up in business. And in business, the two pieces of the puzzle that are already there are the pieces, the what and the how. Those two pieces are there. We chew that over and over again in business, and we start there. And if that's all you do, don't be yourself in business, because then you're going to show up in ego, in competition. You're going to be part of the old paradigm where you need to win, and in order for you to win, other people need to lose. You won't know anything about yourself that has to do with your light, your kindness, your interdependence, your interconnection. You won't even know how to connect with other people, because connection is actually happening through the heart. And if you don't have that clear idea of who you are, and you just step into business with the what and the how, you're not going to do well. And I would really tell you that no, don't be yourself, because the self that you think you are in the what and the how is a terrible self. So no. The answer is no. Just try to not cause harm. That would be my message right there. But for those of you who are interested in in completing the puzzle, you will add the who and the why. And when you have the who and the why in your every step in business, you actually have a relationship to who you are. You're not only a logical thinker, it's not just the rational you showing up, it's also the non-rational you. The non-rational that can handle things such as the unknown, such as love, such as death, such as change. We can't handle big stuff in our brains. In our rational, there's no loyalty. There's so many concepts in the rational that has to do with me and only me. And it's a lonely place because it's a separate place. So when we dare to connect with that bigger part of us, then we have a handle on our who, and we also have a sense of our why. That's when we can walk in with a full puzzle, and we know what the functions of our ego is. We know what the function of stress is. We know what the function of our inner prostitute or our inner child or our inner saboteur are. And when we are aware of these functions within us, when we have that who under wraps, and we have actually examined our why, then I would say yes, absolutely, be yourself. That is when you can show up as a whole human being. WHOLE. And with that wholeness, you will benefit from really being yourself. And what I notice working with a lot of executives, leaders, managers, i.e. not 21-year-olds, what happens is that I have noticed that when you have passed your 20s and even your 30s, you get to that point where you, and I would argue that if you don't hop into that space of your who and your why, it's not going to work out well for you. The leadership and the pushing and the climbing and the really grasping that we need to do, if we do it the same way we did in our early 20s, is not going to work. And we can feel it. We can feel the void within. We can feel the gap. We can feel the, God darn it, there has to be a better way. We have to have a better way of showing up in business. And I can say an absolutely big yes to that. There is a better way. And if you don't get to know who you are in this full connection with yourself, and you are past 35, let's say, you are in for a rough ride. It's going to start to feel lonelier and lonelier, emptier and emptier, and that void is going to start chewing on you. So I would really urge you to step into the space of daring to be yourself. But this is why mindfulness intelligence has all these different modules and all these different technologies of actually stepping into and breaking it down, who you are, what stands in the way for you to be that you would like to be. Because we have so many erroneous ideas of who we are. We have shitty programming standing in the way for our greatness. We have so many voices in our heads that are dimming the light of what we are. And as much as we don't really hear it in business, it's still true that you are light. I mean, just this extraordinary delivery from Amanda Gorman in the Joe Biden's presidential inauguration ceremony. And she is talking about this light. She is talking about us, that there is that light. But it's about us daring to step into it and daring to being it. So it's that being of that light, is the being of that connectedness that you have within self, that not only is going to connect you with your true self, it will also, and this is the beauty of it, it connects you with everything. And that part of you that knows that vastness, that love, that light, and I know these are words that we don't want to hear in business, but I don't care. We need to do it. We can't know ourselves if we don't know love. We can't know ourselves as great leaders if we don't know if we don't know light. It's impossible. So that's the big welcome. And I will still answer the question with an unequivocal no and a very convincing yes, depending on, have you done the work? Do you know who you are? And is that who grounded in the extraordinary greatness of you? In that case, the answer is yes. And I hope to see you around. And if you're interested in knowing more about mindfulness intelligence, you just reach out. I'm right here. Bye, everyone.